Got two hewers that I'm going to sharpen up right here. Really, I'm just honing it. This is a leather belt with some polish compound on it. And this is that big double bevel hewer that's almost 7 inches wide in the bit. I've used before, one of my favorites. And here's that single bevel. It's a Plum Victory, a lot smaller, about 1.5 pounds, maybe a little less. The other one is closer to 4 pounds, so it's a big, big, big boy. And you'll see how big it is and what it's really useful for in a couple seconds here after I finish up this polish here. This is a real fast way to clean up an edge that's close to pretty sharp. You know, this isn't going to re-profile anything, but if it's fairly sharp, it'll get it back in working order. So this is that black locust, and I had some cracking, which I'm pointing out. And I'm removing that. I'm also doing a little bit of hewing. I mean, that's the point of this video, you idiot. I'm also rough hewing the piece of lumber while I'm removing this crack, these cracks. As you can see, this wide bit and heavy hewer is perfect for this big face, this big wide face that I'm going at right now. And it's really making quick work of it. With hewing, you don't really go super deep all the time, but you know, this is pretty rough hewing. I missed there. I didn't want to remove too much. That's basically the point of when I say you don't remove too much, especially when you don't need to. When you need to remove a lot, I like to split it out. I like to rive the extra stuff off. With this, it just would have been a pain in the ass to try to rive off the sapwood. That's what I'm going at. The sapwood is where all the cracking is. I tried to keep these together. There's about 4 billets. You can see the waste on the floor from the other 3. I tried to kind of keep them all together to slow the drying, but that didn't work too well. So I'm removing the cracking, and I'm probably going to wrap them in brown paper. Now look how close my hand is to the top of the edge. That indicates I'm either not comfortable, or maybe I'm a little fatigued because I've been doing this for a little bit. Not just with this billet, but yeah, the other 3. When you think, oh, I can't do this for very long, it just takes a bit of practice, just doing it over and over again, and you'll work up the endurance to swing a hatchet over and over. Now, I wouldn't recommend something this heavy. This is not, you don't need this, but it works really well for these wide faces. This is closer to the pith right here, and I was just kind of cleaning it up a bit, making it a little straighter. You can see it's kind of trapezoidal, this piece. It's not like a rectangle like a lot of dimensioned lumber. This is not dimensioned lumber. This is just split out of a very kind of small diameter tree. Small diameter trunk, probably 7-inch diameter. I didn't measure, but I only got 4 billets, so that just tells you probably less than 7. Could have been 6.5 diameter or 6. So this is what I like the single bevel, the small single bevel for. I like it for smaller faces. So this face is a lot narrower, so it's perfect for this. So the sides I do with the single bevel, and the big double bevel I do the biggest face, or sometimes there's 2 of those, and it really helps when they're sharp. Let me tell you, it's dangerous, it's not as fun, so that's why I polished them up real quick before we got to work. I was showing that there's still a little crack that I got to get rid of. So sometimes if you want to remove cracks with just axes and hatchets, you're going to be wasting a lot of lumber. Just how it is. Now, I could have just cut that off, like I could have done a cross cut with a saw, but I wanted to try to save as much as I could. These are about 20 inches long, and yeah, I wish I could get more, but that's the best I could do with these handle billets. It's cutting nice, isn't it? So this is where the failings of the single bevel. Now right now I'm only going on kind of a corner of a wide face, so it's not too bad. But in a second I'm about to try to do what I really need the double bevel for. And right there you saw how there was a piece stuck on it. There was a piece of wood stuck on the edge. Very dangerous. You always want to get rid of that. Of course, I'm using a carving stump, carving round, whatever you call it, carving table. So here it is. You see how it's not really going in too deep, and I really am not doing much when it comes to like the difficult parts where a heavier hatchet or axe would just go right through. It would power through a little better. Yeah, watch this. See, now it's the whole face pretty much. It's digging in deeper, and you see how it doesn't really have an issue with getting held up as much. I might have been getting greedy with the smaller one, but that just shows how easy it is with the bigger one. That it doesn't get held up as much. It just goes right through. Of course, like I was saying earlier, I'm kind of using it up high because my arm, my shoulder, my wrist, my hand are a little fatigued probably. Here's the end. I'm just kind of making it a little more straight on the other side. And yeah, that's pretty much it. 2 double bevels, 2 different jobs. They can do the same things, but they're not really made for that. So here I wanted to take a moisture reading. And this has been drying for, what, a month? Whenever I posted the Blackfoot Locust video, that's when I got it. I'm going to need to start thinking about getting some new files. It's not dry yet, but I like to touch it.